The very name, Area 51, has long held a singular power over the global imagination, conjuring images not just of a desolate patch of Nevada desert, but of something far grander, far stranger. It is a whispered phrase that instantly illuminates a mental landscape teeming with shadowy government operatives, classified experiments, and the tantalizing possibility of life from beyond our world. To utter Area 51 is to invoke a modern myth, a vibrant tapestry woven from threads of official secrecy and rampant, often wild, speculation. It speaks to a profound human fascination with the unknown, amplified by a deep-seated distrust of hidden power. Situated within the vast, parched expanse of the Nevada Test and Training Range, northwest of Las Vegas, the physical location of Area 51 is itself a character in its enduring mystery. This isn't just any military installation. It exists in a basin, ringed by mountains on all sides, a natural amphitheater designed to keep its inner workings hidden from prying eyes. The landscape is unforgiving, a stark tableau of sagebrush, red earth, and a sky that stretches on forever, indifferent to the clandestine activities unfolding beneath it. This remote, forbidding environment was not an accidental choice. It was deliberately selected to provide an unparalleled level of isolation, a hermetic seal against observation, making it the perfect crucible for secrets. For decades, the United States government maintained an official silence regarding Area 51. Its existence, while an open secret whispered in taverns and splashed across tabloids, was steadfastly denied by those in power. No maps showed it. No official documents acknowledged its purpose. No spokesperson would utter its name. This official veil, dense and unyielding, served only to deepen the enigma. In the absence of verifiable facts, the public imagination, hungry for answers, began to fill the void. A vacuum of information inevitably sucks in the most extraordinary theories, and Area 51 became the epicenter of a swirling vortex of conspiracy. It was during the height of the Cold War, a period rife with paranoia and the constant threat of global conflict, that the seeds of the Area 51 myth truly began to germinate. As reports of unexplained aerial phenomena, flying saucers, and mysterious lights in the night sky became more prevalent, especially in the vicinity of this unacknowledged military outpost, the connection seemed inescapable. What else could explain the highly unusual, unidentifiable craft seen streaking across the restricted airspace, moving with physics-defying agility? The official explanation, often a shrug or a dismissive chuckle, only fueled the belief that something far grander, far more revolutionary or terrifying, was being hidden from the public. Eyewitness accounts, often from former employees or individuals who had ventured too close to the perimeter, began to trickle out, adding fuel to the fire. These early narratives spoke of advanced aircraft unlike anything known to the public, of highly classified experiments, and most sensationally, of retrieved extraterrestrial technology and even alien bodies being housed and studied within the base's heavily guarded hangars. The story of Bob Lazar, in particular, who claimed to have worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft propulsion systems at a site known as S4 south of Area 51, captured the public's imagination like no other, injecting the alien narrative firmly into the mainstream discourse surrounding the base. Though his claims were widely disputed by official sources and many in the scientific community, they resonated deeply with a public primed to believe that governments were hiding profound truths. The government's steadfast refusal to acknowledge Area 51 until 2013 inadvertently transformed it from a mere military testing ground into a potent cultural icon. It became a symbol not just of government secrecy, but of humanity's yearning to believe in something more, something beyond the mundane. Hollywood, literature, and television embraced the lore, each production adding another layer to the myth. From The X-Files to Independence Day, Area 51 became a ubiquitous shorthand for deep state conspiracies and alien encounters, cementing its place in the global zeitgeist. It was a place where anything was possible, a canvas onto which collective fears and hopes about the cosmos could be projected. This confluence of factors, extreme secrecy, an isolated location, persistent UFO sightings, and compelling whistleblower accounts created an irresistible allure. The initial mystery, far from diminishing, only grew more potent with each passing year of official denial. People inherently understand that if something is so aggressively hidden, there must be a profound reason for it. The truth, they reasoned, must be far more extraordinary than any mundane explanation could offer. The very act of the government saying, "Nothing to see here," convinced millions that there was, in fact, everything to see. Thus, Area 51 transcended its pragmatic origins as a top-secret testing facility for advanced aerial reconnaissance aircraft like the U-2 spy plane and later the SR-71 Blackbird. These were truly revolutionary machines, designed to fly higher and faster than anything else in the world, pushing the boundaries of aerospace engineering. Their very existence was deemed a national security secret, and their development required an isolated, secure environment where their unprecedented capabilities could be tested far from Soviet eyes. Yet, because the public was kept entirely in the dark about these incredible achievements, the void was effortlessly filled by far grander, more outlandish tales. The actual awe-inspiring technological innovations were overshadowed by the fantastical, fueled by a craving for the extraordinary. The allure of Area 51, therefore, rests on this foundational paradox. A place of verifiable, world-changing technological innovation kept under such an impenetrable veil of secrecy that its reality was eclipsed by its myth. It became a monument to what we don't know, a stark reminder of the information withheld, and a testament to the enduring human desire to find answers, even if those answers lead us to the stars or to the shadowed corners of our own government's clandestine operations. Even after its official acknowledgement, the initial mystery, carefully cultivated and fiercely guarded for so long, continues to cast a long, captivating shadow. Beyond the pervasive intrigue that captivated millions and fueled decades of speculation, Area 51 exists not as a mere symbol of enigmatic government operations, but as a tangible, high-security military installation nestled deep within the desolate heart of the Nevada desert. Its stark reality begins not with the shimmering neon of Las Vegas, but in a landscape of unforgiving beauty, a vast, arid expanse punctuated by rugged, ancient mountain ranges and sun-baked valleys that stretch into an endless horizon. This is not just any patch of land. It lies securely ensconced within the sprawling boundaries of the Nevada Test and Training Range, a colossal domain dedicated to the most sensitive military endeavors. Since its inception in 1955, this isolated outpost has functioned as an intensely classified test range, a hallowed ground for the United States Air Force where the future of aerospace technology is not merely theorized but forged and rigorously pushed to its very limits. The very choice of this location was anything but accidental. It was a meticulously deliberate selection driven by the imperative of absolute secrecy and unparalleled operational security. Area 51 is situated within a natural basin, a colossal amphitheater of sorts, entirely encircled by towering mountain ranges that act as colossal, silent sentinels. This formidable geographical feature renders external observation an almost impossible feat, ensuring that what transpires within its heavily guarded perimeter remains shielded from the prying eyes of the curious public or, more critically, potential adversaries. This natural seclusion, combined with its profound remoteness, a stark contrast to the accessibility of any conventional military base, transforms it into an ideal sanctuary for conducting highly sensitive operations, far removed from any scrutinizing gaze. Within these heavily fortified confines, a pervasive veil of secrecy governs every aspect of daily life and work. Information, even regarding the most mundane routine activities, remains strictly confidential, a testament to the base's unwavering commitment to operational security. The surrounding landscape, while captivating in its stark, wild grandeur, is equally unforgiving. The arid Nevada desert, with its blistering summer heat that can scorch the very air and piercing winter chills that bite to the bone, hardly presents itself as a welcoming environment for human habitation, much less for a bustling military installation. Yet it is precisely this inhospitable vastness that serves as a crucial ally in the base's mission, providing an expansive, unblemished canvas for conducting extensive aerial and ground tests, all without the slightest risk of unauthorized observation or interference. The sheer scale of this desert expanse ensures that revolutionary prototypes can fly and new systems can be deployed, their revolutionary capabilities pushed to their absolute limits with utmost privacy and controlled precision. At its core, Area 51 has always been a crucible of classified innovation, a relentless engine driving the advancement of cutting-edge military projects. While the specifics of many of these endeavors remain deeply buried under layers of secrecy, it is widely acknowledged that the base played a pivotal role in the development and rigorous testing of iconic reconnaissance aircraft, such as the legendary U-2 spy plane, and subsequently the groundbreaking stealth technology that revolutionized aerial warfare, reshaping the very landscape of modern combat. The terms innovation and advanced technology are not mere buzzwords here. They are the fundamental tenets that define every activity undertaken within this guarded facility. Although precise details invariably dissolve into a hazy aura of mystery, the base's history is inextricably linked with pushing the boundaries of what is technologically feasible, delving into uncharted territories of aerospace engineering, advanced propulsion systems, revolutionary materials, and sophisticated sensor technologies. Over time, Area 51's identity transcended its initial operational brief, evolving into a potent cultural phenomenon. It has inspired countless films, books, and television series, each contributing its own intricate layers of mystery and speculation about the true nature of what unfolds behind its intensely protected fences. For some, it stands as a stark symbol of governmental opacity and a perceived lack of accountability. For others, it represents the tantalizing, definitive proof that humanity is not alone in the vast cosmic expanse. Yet, beneath these myriad interpretations lies a singular, unwavering purpose: to advance the technological might of the United States and secure its national defense. The genesis of Area 51's story stretches back to the tumultuous post-World War II years, a turbulent era when the world was recalibrating to a new and dangerous geopolitical order. Amidst the escalating tensions of the Cold War, the United States found itself in an urgent and desperate quest for strategic advantages over the burgeoning power of the Soviet Union. Paramount among these desired advantages was air superiority, a crucial domain that demanded the development of unprecedented surveillance technologies and aircraft capable of flying higher, faster, and more stealthily than anything previously imagined. It was this ambitious and critically important objective that directly led to the establishment of what would become Area 51. The selection of its Nevada location was far from a random choice. It was a meticulously calculated decision, the result of an exhaustive search for the perfect operational environment. In 1955, under the direct purview of the Central Intelligence Agency, the United States Air Force embarked on a rigorous search for an ideal site to test the revolutionary U-2 spy plane. They sought a location that was not only profoundly remote, but also incredibly difficult to access and observe. A secluded haven that could provide unparalleled security and privacy for the testing of such highly classified technology. The basin in Nevada, naturally protected by its surrounding mountain ranges, presented itself as the perfect candidate, meeting every stringent criterion.
What was that?
Furthermore, its strategic proximity to other established military and nuclear testing facilities offered a logical pathway for seamless integration and enhanced security protocols, ensuring that the base could operate as a fully self-contained and highly protected entity within a broader network of national defense installations. This synergy allowed for an unprecedented level of control and secrecy, vital for projects of such paramount importance. Once chosen, the construction of the base proceeded with remarkable speed and efficiency, transforming a desolate stretch of desert into a functional, if rudimentary, outpost. The initial installations were Spartan and purely functional, designed primarily to facilitate flight tests and provide essential aircraft maintenance. However, the strategic significance of Area 51 rapidly escalated, and with it, the necessity for a corresponding expansion and sophistication of its infrastructure. The base underwent substantial, continuous development, acquiring more advanced, purpose-built hangars capable of housing increasingly large and complex aircraft, extending its runways to accommodate the demands of faster and heavier prototypes, and constructing a more robust support complex to house and cater to an ever-growing contingent of specialized personnel and a burgeoning number of secret projects. Beyond its foundational role in the development of technologically advanced reconnaissance aircraft, Area 51 also became a nexus for a multitude of other classified projects. These included the pioneering research and development of stealth technology, a paradigm shift in military aviation that rendered aircraft virtually invisible to radar, and various advanced weapon systems designed to give the United States a decisive edge in any potential conflict. The base offered an unparalleled controlled environment where these critical tests could be conducted with absolute impunity, free from the pervasive threat of espionage or external interference. This level of operational autonomy was crucial. It empowered brilliant engineers and scientists to work without reservation on projects that were at the absolute vanguard of technology, fearlessly pushing the very boundaries of what was considered possible in aerospace and military engineering, fostering an environment of unparalleled intellectual freedom within its heavily guarded confines. Over the decades, the specific objectives and operational methodologies of Area 51 have naturally evolved, adapting seamlessly to the dynamic requirements of national security and the relentless march of technological progress. The base has served as a crucible for countless innovations, from the design of revolutionary airframes to breakthroughs in electronic warfare and advanced computing for aerospace applications. Yet, through all these transformations, the fundamental identity of the base has remained steadfast. It endures as the preeminent site for the development and testing of the most advanced technologies, a silent guardian of future defense capabilities, perpetually shrouded in an aura of indispensable secrecy and relentless innovation. It remains a place where the cutting edge of military aviation and technological superiority is not just pursued, but painstakingly crafted, refined, and perfected, far from public scrutiny, always pushing humanity's understanding of what is possible in the skies above. The origins of what would become the legendary Area 51 are deeply embedded in the turbulent geopolitical landscape that emerged from the ashes of World War II. As the global order realigned, the United States found itself locked in an ideological and technological arms race with the Soviet Union, a standoff that would define the era as the Cold War. In this new reality, gaining a strategic advantage was paramount, and among the most critical frontiers was air superiority. The world had shrunk, and the ability to observe, understand, and anticipate enemy movements from above was no longer a luxury, but an absolute necessity. The Iron Curtain had descended across Europe, rendering traditional intelligence gathering an increasingly perilous and often impossible task. Conventional espionage struggled against the Soviet Union's closed borders and pervasive surveillance. It became clear that if the U.S. was to keep pace, let alone outmaneuver its adversary, it needed an unprecedented capability: surveillance technologies and aircraft that could fly higher, faster, and with greater stealth than anything then conceived.
We are facing an unprecedented threat. Our intelligence confirms this.
We must act decisively.
This urgent need spurred a clandestine search for groundbreaking aeronautical solutions, chief among them a revolutionary reconnaissance aircraft that could peer deep into Soviet territory undetected. This urgent requirement culminated in the birth of the U-2 Dragon Lady program. Conceived under the auspices of the CIA, the U-2 was an engineering marvel for its time. A sleek, high-altitude spy plane designed to soar above the reach of Soviet interceptors and surface-to-air missiles, capturing crucial photographic intelligence. But developing and testing such a sophisticated and highly classified asset demanded an equally unique environment. The CIA, in collaboration with the U.S. Air Force, began a meticulous search in 1955 for a site that could offer unparalleled secrecy, security, and isolation for this unprecedented project. The criteria for this secret testing ground were exacting. It needed to be profoundly remote, far from populated areas and prying eyes, where the sheer emptiness of the landscape would provide a natural buffer against unwanted observation. It required vast, unrestricted airspace where experimental aircraft could be flown without concern for civilian air traffic or curious onlookers. Crucially, the terrain itself needed to offer a degree of natural concealment, making ground-level observation incredibly difficult. After sifting through countless maps and conducting extensive aerial surveys of the American West, a remote, dry lakebed in Nevada, nestled within the vast expanse of the Nellis Air Force Range, caught their attention. This desolate patch of earth, known as Groom Lake, proved to be an almost ideal canvas for clandestine operations. It was a vast, ancient playa, offering a naturally flat surface perfectly suited for the construction of long runways. The lakebed was situated within an enclosed basin, entirely surrounded by rugged mountains that rose like natural sentinels, effectively shielding any activity below from distant views. This geographical isolation, combined with its location deep within the larger, already restricted Nevada Test Site and Atomic Energy Commission's reservation, provided layers of inherent security and a convenient cover story. The area was so inhospitable and seemingly worthless that it was jokingly referred to by its initial developers as Paradise Ranch to encourage personnel to relocate there, a stark contrast to its official moniker, Site 2. Upon its selection in 1955, construction began with astonishing speed. What started as a rudimentary collection of facilities designed to support initial flight tests and basic aircraft maintenance quickly transformed.
3, 2, 1.
Initial installations were Spartan, a primitive airstrip carved into the lakebed, temporary modular housing for personnel, a handful of maintenance hangars, and essential support buildings. The influx of engineers, test pilots, and support staff lived under conditions of extreme secrecy, often flown in from Burbank, California on unmarked aircraft, their missions cloaked in layers of obfuscation. Their every action and word were subject to rigorous protocols, establishing the foundation for the base's enduring culture of absolute confidentiality. The U-2 program's successful testing at Groom Lake validated the strategic importance of the site. Its unparalleled capabilities for high-altitude reconnaissance were quickly proven, and the aircraft soon entered operational service, flying vital missions during the most tense years of the Cold War. This initial success, however, was only the beginning. The strategic value of Area 51 rapidly expanded, and with it, its physical infrastructure. The base underwent continuous upgrades and expansions, acquiring more advanced hangars capable of housing larger and more complex aircraft, extended runways to accommodate cutting-edge designs, and a more robust support complex to cater to the ever-increasing number of personnel and increasingly secretive projects. Area 51's mission soon transcended the U-2 program. It evolved into a premier testbed for a succession of other highly classified black projects, including the development and testing of early stealth technology and advanced weapon systems. The very nature of the base provided a supremely controlled environment where engineers and scientists could push the boundaries of aerospace and military engineering without the risk of espionage or external interference. This level of autonomy was unprecedented, allowing them to experiment with radical designs and revolutionary concepts that would shape the future of aviation. Here, in the heart of the desolate Nevada desert, the theoretical was transformed into the tangible, the impossible made real, as the nation sought to maintain its technological edge in an ever-threatening world. The base has, through all its transformations and evolving missions, consistently remained a crucible for advanced technological development and testing, a role it continues to fulfill to this day, shrouded in the very secrecy that birthed it. Once the decision was made, the transformation of this desolate patch of Nevada began with remarkable speed and an even more remarkable degree of secrecy. What had been little more than a dry lake bed in a remote valley was rapidly converted into a rudimentary but highly functional base. Initial installations were basic, designed purely to support the immediate, critical mission: the flight tests and maintenance of the groundbreaking U-2 spy plane. Workers, arriving often blindfolded or by unmarked planes, toiled under a veil of intense confidentiality. The early base, christened Paradise Ranch by its creators in an ironic nod to its stark surroundings, consisted of little more than a single runway, a handful of temporary structures, and a few hangars capable of housing the sleek, high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft. The remoteness that made it ideal for clandestine operations also meant personnel lived and worked in near total isolation, surrounded by nothing but barren mountains and endless desert sky. However, the strategic importance of this secluded facility, soon unofficially known by its map designation, Area 51, grew at an exponential rate. The success of the U-2 program demonstrated the unparalleled advantage of having a secure, secret testing ground for avant-garde military technology. As the Cold War intensified and the technological race against the Soviet Union accelerated, the demands placed upon Area 51 expanded far beyond its original mandate. With this escalating importance came a dramatic expansion of its infrastructure. The humble beginnings gave way to a sophisticated, sprawling complex. More advanced hangars, many reportedly buried or camouflaged, rose from the desert floor, designed to conceal not just one, but multiple generations of experimental aircraft. Runways were extended, reinforced, and even augmented with auxiliary landing strips, capable of accommodating ever larger and more unconventional designs. A robust support complex emerged, complete with advanced laboratories, secure communication centers, dormitories, mess halls, and all the necessary amenities for a permanent, growing population of highly specialized personnel. This expansion was constant, driven by the relentless pace of innovation and the ever-present need to maintain an edge in national security. Beyond the initial focus on high-altitude reconnaissance, Area 51's mission broadened significantly, encompassing a vast array of classified projects that pushed the boundaries of aerospace engineering and military capability. It became the crucible for a multitude of black projects, where the most daring concepts in aviation were transformed from theoretical blueprints into tangible, albeit secret, flying machines. A paramount example was the development of stealth technology. The concept of rendering an aircraft virtually invisible to radar, a notion once confined to science fiction, became a tangible reality within the guarded confines of Groom Lake. Engineers and scientists grappled with unprecedented challenges, designing radar-absorbent materials, developing angular, faceted airframes that would scatter radar waves, and creating revolutionary propulsion systems that minimized heat and noise signatures. The arduous, secretive work conducted here led directly to breakthroughs that would redefine aerial warfare, culminating in the creation of aircraft capable of penetrating heavily defended airspace undetected. These were not mere modifications of existing planes. They were entirely new paradigms of flight, born from radical thinking and unparalleled resources. The base offered a unique, controlled environment where these cutting-edge tests could be conducted with absolute freedom from external interference or espionage. This autonomy was critical, allowing engineers and scientists to operate at the absolute vanguard of technology, unburdened by conventional oversight or public scrutiny. Within its secure perimeter, they were free to experiment with radical designs, unconventional materials, and advanced propulsion systems, pushing the very limits of what was considered possible in aerospace and military engineering. This was a place where failure was an acceptable, even necessary step on the path to revolutionary success. The stakes were incredibly high, with national security often hanging in the balance, yet the freedom to innovate was equally profound. Elite teams of test pilots, engineers, and scientists worked in a unique culture of intense pressure and creative liberation, dedicated to designing aircraft that could fly higher, faster, and smarter than anything the world had ever seen, or even imagined. They worked with materials and concepts that wouldn't see the light of day, even decades later, if ever. Over the decades, Area 51's objectives and operational scope continuously evolved, adapting to the shifting requirements of national security and the relentless march of technological advancement. From the Cold War's aerial supremacy race to the challenges of the post-Cold War era and the emergence of new global threats, the base remained at the forefront of military innovation. It transformed from a specific test site for one aircraft into a sprawling, multi-purpose complex for developing and prototyping a wide range of advanced aircraft, weapon systems, and reconnaissance platforms. The types of technology tested changed, but the fundamental purpose endured: to provide a secret proving ground where the most sensitive and revolutionary defense projects could be nurtured, developed, and brought to fruition, away from prying eyes. It has consistently served as the clandestine forge where the future of aerial warfare was, and arguably continues to be. The relentless drive for technological supremacy, which first breathed life into the desolate expanse of Area 51, has defined its very essence since its inception. While the specific projects undertaken within its highly guarded perimeter have undoubtedly evolved with the changing tides of geopolitical threats and scientific advancements, the base has unwaveringly maintained its fundamental purpose: to serve as the clandestine crucible where the United States' most cutting-edge military aviation and defense technologies are conceived, tested, and perfected. From the sleek, high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft of the Cold War to the revolutionary stealth platforms and beyond, Area 51 has remained at the vanguard, a silent sentinel of innovation constantly pushing the boundaries of what is technologically possible. This core mission, however, is inextricably linked to an equally defining characteristic: its enduring, pervasive secrecy. For decades, the very existence of Area 51 was a closely guarded secret, officially denied by the U.S. Government, fueling an insatiable public curiosity that only intensified with each passing year. The remote, forbidding landscape of the Nevada desert, far removed from prying eyes and civilian populations, was deliberately chosen to provide the ultimate cloak of invisibility. Nestled within a vast basin, encircled by mountains on all sides, the base is naturally insulated from external observation, creating an unparalleled environment for covert operations. This geographic isolation, combined with stringent security protocols, extensive exclusion zones, and a culture of absolute confidentiality among its personnel, has fostered an impenetrable veil of mystery. Even now, after the government's official acknowledgement of the base's existence in 2013, the day-to-day activities within its fences remain highly classified. This shift from outright denial to a reluctant, albeit minimal, transparency did little to dispel the aura of enigma. If anything, it solidified Area 51's status as the ultimate black site, a place where secrets are not just kept, but are the very air that its occupants breathe. The information that does emerge is often vague, sanitized, and carefully managed, ensuring that the critical details of its ongoing projects remain firmly locked away from public scrutiny and potential adversaries. This steadfast commitment to secrecy is not merely for the sake of mystery. It is a strategic imperative, a fundamental component of national security that allows the nation to develop crucial defensive and offensive capabilities without compromising their strategic advantage. Over the years, the mission of Area 51 has undergone a profound evolution, mirroring the escalating complexity of global security challenges and the rapid acceleration of technological progress. What began as a testing ground for the U-2 spy plane, designed to peer behind the Iron Curtain from unprecedented altitudes, quickly expanded to encompass the A-12 Oxcart and later its more famous derivative, the SR-71 Blackbird, aircraft that shattered speed and altitude records and redefined aerial reconnaissance. But the evolution did not stop there. As the threat landscape diversified, so too did the scope of projects at Area 51. The base became instrumental in the development and refinement of stealth technology, revolutionizing military aviation by making aircraft virtually invisible to radar. It's plausible that subsequent generations of stealth aircraft, advanced drone systems, experimental propulsion technologies, and even theoretical weapon systems have found their genesis and testing grounds within this secluded valley. The vast, empty expanses of the Nevada Test and Training Range surrounding Area 51 offer an unparalleled canvas for both aerial and terrestrial testing, allowing for the rigorous evaluation of these advanced systems without the risk of observation or interference. The relentless pursuit of innovation means that the base is a constantly adapting entity, its focus shifting to address whatever technological frontiers promise to give the United States a decisive edge. While the specific blueprints and operational details of these modern projects are shrouded in an even deeper layer of secrecy than their Cold War predecessors, the foundational commitment to pushing the boundaries of aerospace and military engineering remains the unwavering constant. It is a place where scientific inquiry meets strategic imperative, where engineers and scientists are given the autonomy to explore the outer limits of possibility, unburdened by conventional constraints and driven by the urgent needs of national defense. It is precisely this pervasive secrecy, coupled with the extraordinary nature of its alleged activities, that has cemented Area 51's legacy not just as a vital military installation, but as a genuine cultural phenomenon. Its existence, once whispered in hushed tones and dismissed as mere speculation, has transcended its origins to become a potent symbol in the collective imagination of millions worldwide. Hollywood films, best-selling novels, and popular television series have drawn inspiration from its mystique, each adding new layers of intrigue and speculation about what truly transpires behind its heavily guarded fences. For some, Area 51 represents the ultimate enigma, a canvas upon which humanity projects its deepest fears and greatest hopes regarding the unknown. The very lack of concrete information has created a fertile ground for an array of conspiracy theories, the most enduring and captivating of which involves extraterrestrial life. Tales of crashed UFOs, reverse-engineered alien technology, and even live alien specimens being housed and studied within the base's subterranean levels have become deeply embedded in popular folklore. These narratives, perpetuated across generations, often paint Area 51 as the epicenter of a massive government cover-up, a clandestine effort to conceal the truth about humanity's place in the cosmos. This narrative has been so pervasive that it has, at times, overshadowed the base's actual confirmed military purpose in the public consciousness, transforming it into a shorthand for all things secretive, conspiratorial, and otherworldly. The base has become a litmus test for belief, a modern mythos that continues to evolve, drawing new adherents and skeptics alike. This dual identity of Area 51, as both a critical national security asset and a cultural touchstone, underscores the complex relationship between government secrecy and public perception. For a segment of the population, the very existence of Area 51 and the decades of official denial that preceded its acknowledgement serve as a potent symbol of government opacity and a lack of accountability. They view it as evidence that critical information is deliberately withheld from citizens, fostering distrust and fueling a demand for greater transparency. The notion that such a significant installation could operate entirely outside the public eye for so long raises legitimate questions about democratic oversight and the limits of state power. Conversely, for an equally passionate group, Area 51 embodies something entirely different. It is definitive proof that we are not alone in the universe. The persistent rumors of alien contact, the alleged recovery of extraterrestrial craft, and the supposed study of non-human intelligence within its confines offer a compelling narrative that resonates deeply with those who yearn for evidence of life beyond Earth. For them, Area 51 is not just a military base. It is the physical manifestation of humanity's encounter with the cosmic unknown, a place where the most profound secrets of the universe are guarded. Thus, as the needs of national security continue to evolve and technological innovation shows no signs of abating, Area 51 is poised to remain a linchpin in the United States defense strategy. Its future, like its past, will undoubtedly be defined by the relentless pursuit of superior technology, always conducted under the impenetrable cloak of secrecy. While the specific projects may change, perhaps focusing on hypersonic travel, advanced cyber warfare capabilities, or even entirely new paradigms of defense, the core function of the base will endure. The sprawling, desolate landscape of the Nevada desert will continue to serve as the ultimate proving ground, a silent laboratory for tomorrow's most sophisticated instruments of power. And, inevitably, its enduring secrecy will continue to fuel the public's imagination, ensuring that Area 51 remains not just a high-security military installation, but also an enduring symbol of humanity's fascination with the unknown. A place where fact and fiction intertwine, forever shrouded in a captivating haze of mystery and speculation. Its legacy is thus twofold: a testament to human ingenuity in the pursuit of security, and a powerful emblem of the profound secrets that governments choose to keep, and the profound questions that humanity continues to ask.